everybody. Welcome into this week's Inside Pitch. I'm Ben Frederickson alongside Jeff Gordon. Gordo, it's our last chance to talk for Inside Pitch. We'll talk like every day, at least like every other day. But our last chance to talk on Inside Pitch before the trade deadline gets here. Obviously, there's names out there. Maybe the Cardinals should go get that person, or what do they need? We know what they need. They could use pitching. They could use a right-handed bat. They could use relief help because any team that's trying to make the postseason could. So we know what they could use. It's a matter of what they're going to go get, what they're willing to give up. What are you most interested in finding out about this trade deadline? And one of the things that starts right away is, this is, as he's described many times, nearing the end of the road for John Mozeliak as president of baseball operations. Are you expecting a different kind of flavor at the trade deadline for Mo, because it's might be one of the last ones he gets to try to boost the team?
Well, there has to be urgency for him on a personal level, because you want to go out on a high note if in fact you're transitioning to something else, and there's going to be a different sort of front office going forward. You want to go on a high note. After you finish last, which is really embarrassing, and you had to sell, there's high motivation for the organization to reestablish the brand. There's no question about that. The other thing is you've got redundancy. The day was going to come when you're going to have to sort some players. That day is coming. Dylan Carlson's a fifth outfielder. He needs to play every day someplace. Somebody may see value in that. Ivan Herrera, he's ready to play in the big leagues. He's blocked here. He's got a bat. He's developing as a catcher. Somebody can use him. You've got some pitching depth. Probably not super exciting to another team, but some guys who can pitch in the big leagues. Yeah, like Michael McGreevy.
I don't know if they can afford to trade any pitching.
Right. I mean, they have a guy like McGreevy pitches 6 shutout innings yesterday. Well, hopefully everybody saw that, because he's also had some bad ones. Hopefully there were some scouts at the good one. So you've got some guys. You have some possibilities. A couple second basemen down in AAA that probably are blocked here. You just drafted a guy who's going to be your second baseman for the next 10 years. So you've got some opportunity here, Ben Fred. But the question I have coming back is, what I want to find out is who's selling. Well, okay, the White Sox,
good question.
for sure. The
Hopefully
A's.
The Rangers.
Yeah.
Nathan Eovaldi, perhaps.
Yeah, there may be some teams that are saying,
Max Scherzer. Would you be up for putting Max Scherzer on the old veterans Cardinals reunion tour?
Well, because look, we've all had 9 million emails from fans demanding Max Scherzer to return to
I think I've written most of those, yeah.
Yeah.
I like to beat that drum.
Yeah, and actually he and his family live in Florida now. His parents live in Florida. Well, not so much coming home, but anyways, sure. And then you could have a Max Scherzer sock puppet next year for a promotion, right? So
he says he's not going to waive his no-trade clause, but I do know that he would have loved to pitch for the Cardinals when he was signed with the Mets. He was told it was out of their budget, but I don't know if there's much mileage left on Scherzer, and I say that as one of the biggest fans of Mad Max out there. I'm curious to see how much Chaim Bloom has fingerprints on this trade deadline. It's been pretty clear, they value his vision, his voice. They're kind of easing him into having a bigger role in this front office moving forward. And do we see Chaim Bloom type deals? And what do those look like? Will they tell us a little bit more? I think that's going to be fascinating. You hit on something that I think the more and more you look at what are the Cardinals actually willing to trade, probably not Jordan Walker, probably not Victor Scott II. I mean, they don't make those kind of moves. They don't give up years of promising prospect contract control for a couple seasons of veteran rentals. They just don't do that. So I'm not expecting them to do that. But I do look at, like you mentioned, the middle infield. They've got a lot of these talented, versatile, can play anywhere defense guys with quality contact bats. You can't play them all at the major league level, and they're all kind of clumped up. Go to Brendan Donovan, Nolan Gorman, Mason Wynn's not going anywhere. He's established himself. Okay, that's great. Tommy Edman is nearing health. Where's his spot now? They got Michael Ciani, who may win a Gold Glove in center field. Tommy Edman. Okay, what about Thomas DeJacy? Remember when he was the talk of spring training not that long ago? He's having a good year in Memphis. Where's his future on this team? Oh, by the way, he's 22. They just drafted a 21-year-old shortstop out of West Virginia with the number 7 pick, and everybody expects him to be here sooner rather than later. So I'm kind of wondering if they've kind of cornered the market on versatile middle infielder types. Maybe they tap into that depth a little bit to try to get a little bang for their buck at the trade deadline.
Yeah, they acquired Prieto at the last year. He's one of the best hitters in Memphis. Not a prospect, but a guy who can play in the big leagues. I mean, there's opportunity. But again, I come back to the market. Fans are going to be angry if this team doesn't make a big reliever ad and a big starting pitcher ad. And I think they're going to try it for both. But people remember, and I warned you about free agency. people how pessimistic I was about it, they surprised me there. So maybe they'll surprise me here, but the market's really not that good.
A lot of buyers, not a lot of sellers. If you need teams like the Rangers who are below 500 to tank, you want teams to really drop anchor here in these next few days. So they look at those standings and go, yeah, I don't see themselves. Part of the expanded wild card is everybody gets to dream a little bit longer as that trade deadline approaches. The Cardinals, they're in a good spot. I do think they'll add. It's going to be hard. One thing the fans don't want to hear is about how hard it is. They're tired of hearing how hard it is to make trades at the trade deadline. Whatever they do, we'll have it covered at stltoday.com. For Jeff Gordon, I'm Ben Frederickson, and we'll talk to you after the trade deadline on a new edition of Inside Pitch.